Hi YouTube, I'm Spin and I'm a Valorant coach. Today I'm going to go over another match from the Blast Twitch Invitational, and thanks again to Blast for giving me permission to use their broadcast. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing, it really helps me out, and I hope you enjoy the video.
But we're going to see exactly what Liquid are bringing to the table. Can they take a map and push it to a third, or will FPX take it in two?
So I want to highlight something that most teams do, but I don't think it's ever been quite so pronounced as it has in this game. So here we have Team Liquid versus FPX, and I want to just highlight the positioning of the teams here. So what we're going to see all the way through this game is both teams at the beginning of every round strongly contesting both ultimate orbs. So if I draw them on the map here, we've got one here and one about here. As you can see, very, very early on, we've got a big stack from FPX moving up to take this orb, and at the same time, we've got two guys from Liquid moving down to take the orb on the B side. So I'm just going to play through a few clips, and as we go through, just talk about exactly what's going on in each clip. But you'll see that the executes are almost like site takes, the actual well-drilled executes, just to get the ultimate orbs. And I think we're going to see as the meta develops that this is going to be the main determining factor which distinguishes Valorant from Counter-Strike.
We saw from them on Ascent where that composition you can argue a lot more. Yeah, I don't see the ball split. For me, I think it's,
so as you can see, they're taking it really seriously. 4 guys here stacked up, and as soon as it looks like Liquid are contesting, they back off. So I want to make a point of just how valuable it can be. So we can see on the scoreboard here, Angel has 1 death and 3 charges on his ultimate. So just as a quick reminder, you get charges on your ultimate from kills, from deaths to enemy players, and from spike plants and diffusers. So crucially, I say deaths from enemy players because you don't get a charge from dying to the spike, which happens fairly regularly through this game.
But if they start quite like retakes are going to be so hard.
So here the breach, if we look at the minimap, the breach supports with his fault line stun ability all the way across here to deny the entry of the breach from Team Liquid and allow the team to move up. They follow up with the Brimstone Molotov, which is quite a big commitment just to be sure that they get the orb. And it's worth noting as well that FPX really favour these ult charges on their Brimstone. They use the Brimstone ultimate to execute very regularly, and secondary to that, they favour it on the breach. They often give the spike to the breach so that he can plant the bomb and get a charge that way. So here we can see a bit of an adaptation from Team Liquid. They've started to contest now in bathrooms a lot more heavily, sending 2 guys there instead of just the breach. But this time, we can see on the minimap, FPX have moved over to the other side and they're contesting this ultimate orb instead. So we can see Sulcus on the Phoenix was picking up ultimate orbs the same way that FPX was from the very first round. And in fact, here we're at the beginning of round 4 and we can see Shadow and Angel both have their ultimates ready. And in fact, this is the second ultimate for Sulcus on his Phoenix. Obviously, the Phoenix has 6 charges instead of 7 to get his ultimate. And he's having a brilliant start to the game where he has 8 kills, 2 deaths. That plus the ultimate orbs has allowed him to have a second ultimate already this early in the game. And we can see here a bit of an adaptation from the FPX side. So they know now that Sulcus is contesting that ultimate orb every round. They found that out in the previous round. And now they really commit to contesting it. So here you'll see Shao at the beginning fires a shock dart to deny the orb from Sulcus. Moving on to the next round. Again, an adaptation from Team Liquid. You can see they've sent 2 people now to contest the orb. So Shao has revealed, but he's on his own this time, so he doesn't contest, and Liquid are able to pick up the ultimate orb. And meanwhile, over on the A side, both Liquid and FPX are committing a lot of resources. You see breach flashes coming out here, just to take control of this bathroom area. And it results in 2 kills, in fact, for Liquid on this occasion. So looking at the scoreboard here, it's worth noting that FPX have 3 ultimates ready, and they've used the ultimates on their breach and brimstone. As I said, they value those the most, and they've almost already charged them again. Liquid have all their ultimates up, and they haven't used them. We'll see this as the game progresses. Team Liquid tend to save their ultimates and not use them as effectively. We'll have a look at some stats in a bit. So it's even got to the point where Liquid are using their breach ultimate to try and contest it. And off the back of that, Shao uses his ultimate to defend it. And this is a round we'll go back to later on to analyse. You can see here with 6-5 on the scoreboard. So they're contesting all the way up to the very last round. Moving over to FPX's defense. They drop the smoke down on B long and they contest the orb immediately. And it's very, very hard there for Liquid to contest that. But you see almost every round now, they're there fast, Liquid are ready, trying to contest for the ultimate orb. And this really isn't just a battle for map control, because FPX often take the orb and then just back straight out of bathrooms and don't hold that position. So we'll move over onto some stats now, because I think this is worth noting. So for the number of ultimate rounds, this is rounds where the team has used one or more ultimate. The numbers are fairly similar. It's where the rounds won comes up that the disparity really starts to show itself, with Team Liquid winning 33% of their ult rounds, whereas FPX win 83% of theirs. So we're going to go over the rounds that I think are the most important in terms of the ultimate usage. You can see FPX here, considering anti-ecoing, instead they decide to buy up. So they're on a little bit of a low buy. None of them have full armor, but they all have full weaponry. And this really is the round that gets them back into the game. So early on, we can see Team Liquid use their Phoenix ult, flash out, but they don't really get a whole lot off of it. Zipan plays it smart, contests it, and as I say, they don't get that much value out of it. So here we'll see Liquid are getting ready to use their breach ult to contest the ult orb. And FPX return with Shao, and here you can see how they chain their ultimates together. So he hits 2 people, doesn't get a kill, but he gets good information that there's 2 people playing close, possibly towards backside. So you see, straight away, FPX decide to move up onto the A site with the information they've got. Angel drops some smokes, Heaven and Lamps, and then ults backside to clear that out. He kills 1 off the back, and then Zipan uses ultimate to get the second kill. And at this point, really, the round is won for them. They're 3 versus 5. Scream is very weak. And Liquid just opt to save instead of risking losing more guns. So it's really the use of the Sova ult, which gets the information, and then the use of the Brimstone ult in combination with the Raze ult, which allows them to get the round. So the second round I want to analyze. This is round number 10, and on this round, Liquid used 3 ultimates, FPX used no ultimates, and Liquid still lose this round. So I want to see how their use of the ultimates is not as effective, how they don't link them up successfully, and they don't get enough value out of each ultimate. So it's a fairly slow start to the round. Liquid again used their Phoenix ult at the beginning, flash out. Don't get a lot off of it, but they get information that there's no one holding towards bathrooms. Off that, FPX decide to rotate towards A. And here the execute comes out. So Zipan jumps in. He's fortunate not to die there, but he dies very quickly off of the Phoenix Molotov. And we'll see the use of the Killjoy ultimate here. But because Angel immediately smokes off CT, they really struggle to get anything off of this. The whole of FPX just back out, and Liquid don't take any ground. So after the ult is finished, really they've gained nothing. FPX just walk back into the site, and they're back in the same position as they were before. To be honest, it's a fairly good retake, nonetheless, from Team Liquid. But Shadow, with some heroics, gets a couple of kills here. And you see the Jet ultimate doesn't manage to net the kill because one of the knives goes through the wall, leaving Shadow at 11 HP, but he's able to back off, uses utility, and together they're able to win this round. You can see, looking at the 3 ultimates they used, the Killjoy ult was ineffective because they didn't take any ground off of it. The Phoenix ult was moderately useful in pushing FPX towards the B site, but they didn't get any kills off of it. And the Jet ultimate, unfortunately, Link misses his shot and he's not able to get the value that he wants out of it. So 3 ultimates, all used separately, and none of them are particularly effective, meaning this round has gone to FPX. So the next round I want to look at is round 16. There are no ultimates used in this round, but I think it's unfair to analyze this game without including it. Liquid have a huge advantage and lose the round to an eco from FPX. So early on, Liquid once again contest the ultimate orb, and they manage to get Shadow down to 1 HP. They pick up an early kill on Shao on the other side over at A short, who tries to push up. They pick up the kill on Shadow after the smoke goes down, and you'll see Zipan tries to get another pick in towards mid, and Eccles manages to take him down. So they're now 5 versus 2 in a very, very dominant position, and they're taking their time, playing it smart. FPX still holding quite aggressive, because they're just looking for a couple of kills. They want to affect Team Liquid's economy rather than trying to win this round. So Liquid, they're playing this smartly. They're executing onto the site, despite there being only 2, but they just start to make mistakes. So Link, I'm not sure what he's doing there. He just swings out of the smoke. He's not really looking at the choke. Once again, Cryptic starts to face. And now there's 1 at CT, 1 at elbow. And he manages just to isolate these fights, and he gets them down to 1 each. Cryptix is taking a 1v1 in CT. Meadow's able to close this out with a 1v1. And while there are no ultimates used in this round, it had a huge negative impact on the morale of Team Liquid going into round 17, which is the next round we're going to analyse. As I say, off the back of that terrible loss in round 16, both teams on an almost full buy, and it's really important for Liquid to pick up this round. I think if they win this round, they probably win the whole game. We can see here, Liquid have 5 ultimates available to FPX's 3, but the Sova, Shao on FPX, only needs 1 more ultimate charge to get his ultimate. And you can see here, they're ready to contest bathrooms to pick up the ultimate orb to give him that ultimate. And as we'll see later on, that becomes really crucial. So Liquid are ready to contest, but they're unable to pick up a kill. It's kind of unfortunate. The operator fires just next to him. And if they get that kill, the round probably goes their way, but they don't. After this, Liquid just moves slowly over to the A site, ready to execute. And a lot goes on this execute, so we'll watch it through slowly. And then I'll play it back in normal speed so you can see how fast it all happens. Okay, so this camera from Meadow is perfectly placed to see Liquid as they come in from B long. And we see Liquid just walk in slowly here. Meadow lets his teammates know that they're coming in. Shadow's over there holding hookah with his breach and the operator. And as soon as this info comes to him, he throws out the breach ultimate to delay the push. Now this breach ultimate, they don't try and follow up. It's only there as a way to delay the Liquid push, to allow the rotations come in here from Shao and Angel. So Liquid are forced to back up a little bit, which allows FPX to get into position. So the Liquid execute is about to come in. We can see the breach ultimate is coming in here, which will clear backside. The Phoenix is going to use his ultimate to move into and clear elbow. And they also use the Killjoy ultimate just to make sure that no one can be staying in this backside here. So all in all, it's a pretty good execute from Team Liquid. We'll see what FPX do to counter it. As soon as that ultimate comes out, Angel drops the Brimstone ultimate on the exit to hookah. And he also throws his Molotov towards long. The ultimate from Angel manages to kill Eccles here. Link on the Jet manages to escape because he's able to dash straight through. And here, as I said, Solcast on his Phoenix is clearing out elbow and actually manages to pick up a kill. While Link, from dashing in, picks up a kill over on Angel. So at this point, it's in Team Liquid's favour. At the same time as all this, Shao's using his ultimate to destroy the Killjoy ultimate, so it never gets to activate. But what's crucial here, that Shao kills the Phoenix on his ultimate, sends him back to where he activated the ultimate, which is right into the Brimstone Molotov. I don't know whether that was calculated from Angel. I suspect he was probably trying just to slow down the push from B long, but we'll give him the credit for that one nonetheless. And now, just look at the positions of Team Liquid. They're just not favourable. They're all trying to hold one choke point. Scream goes down because he's in a poor position as the Jet smoke disappears. Link has used his Jet ultimate here, and he's not able to make good use of it because he uses it to clear the Sova drone. I think probably he should have used his updraft and tried to get a kill with his ultimate here, but he re-peeks the corner, and Shadow's able to kill him. So let's just go back, and we'll watch that all through again in normal speed.
So 10-6. The position for Team Liquid, they need to win this round. They want to. They're pushing B again. We said this is going to be the bread and butter of a site of a team versus a full buy.
So breach ultimate to delay the push.
In terms of smokes, that was close to being a nice early kill. Meadow straight through the smoke, but a great flash return. Solcast just
Execute now from Team Liquid. Return Brimstone ultimate. Killjoy ult is countered by the Sova ult. Solcast dies to the Molotov. Bomb goes down, and the positions are poor here. And it's a really, really fast fight. It all goes down very quickly. 7 ults expended in that time. And it's a really big round win for FPX. It sets them up for their comeback. So what can we take away from this? Firstly, use your ultimate. It sounds obvious, but you'd be surprised at how many people, even at the top level of the game, hold on to their ultimates waiting for the perfect moment to use them. Don't be precious about how you use your ultimate, and just try and get some value out of it which allows you to win a round. A lot of the time, if a player would just use their ultimate, they'd probably have another one before they end of the half anyway. Which leads me on to the second point. Consider ult charges. At the beginning of the round, it's worth checking how many ultimate charges both you and your opponents have, as this can influence certain decisions such as who should plant the bomb, whether you should contest ultimate orbs, and even whether you should try and contest the rest of the round. For instance, if you're the last person alive on an eco round, it's often worth trying to make a play, because dying and getting an extra ult charge is better than keeping the cheap weapons you have. And finally, on the defensive side, use your ultimate to delay pushes. As we saw in that last fight from FPX, they used the Breach ultimate to delay the push and allow rotations to come in, and then they used the Brimstone ultimate when the execute came out to disrupt Liquid's push and also net them a kill. You shouldn't feel like you have to follow up off your ultimate every time you use it. As I mentioned before, sometimes it's completely acceptable just to use your ultimate to slow the enemy team down. And for those of you who watched all the way to the end, thank you so much for the support. If you want to see more of this kind of content, I also stream on Twitch TV/Like to Spin, Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays from 1 o'clock CEST. Hope to see you there.